God bless you. What trouble?
Father, can I ask you about something?
Of course, Henry.
I thought since we drove Toth out of the province, things would be better. I mean that the roads would be safer and so on, and, well, that's not entirely the case.
Ah, the naivety of youth. Driving him out of the province was only the start. He left a lot of cutthroats behind, and they'll be sticking to their trade. What's more, as long as there's a war going on, problems like this will keep coming up.
Well, what can we do about it?
Not an awful lot, unfortunately. My garrison is a shamble these days. I lost most of my men in Skalitz, and what I'm left with after Pribyslavitz is hardly enough even to guard Pigstein. Let alone guarding the roads and patrolling the rest of the province. I simply don't have the men.
Uh-huh. I understand.
That is, I didn't have the men. As it happens, you've come at just the right time. Recently, I asked an old acquaintance for help. Sir Kuno of Rickwald and his mercenary band. The men who ride with him are a rough lot, mostly former convicts, but they're as capable as any squad of soldiers.
Well, excuse me for being so bold, but there's plenty of mercenaries around. Surely you can find a more respectable band?
You have a point, lad, but I'd like to tell you I talked to Kuno because I trust him. But actually my reasons are of a more pragmatic nature. You see, Kuno owes me a favor, so he'll serve me free of charge.
So, you want me to join them?
Yes, but that's not all. I told Kuno I'd send him a guide, but really what I need is for someone to keep a close eye on him and his men. Someone reliable. And I'd say you fit the part. Go and report to him at his encampment. You'll ride with his band on patrols and make sure they don't get too disorderly.
Who is this Sir Kuno of Rickwald?
He's the last baron of the House of Rickwald, which became impoverished. So he took to the mercenary trade, like many poor noblemen do, unless they become robbers, which often isn't all that different. He's certainly an entertaining companion, but as a mercenary, well, let's just say he has his own particular approach to certain matters.
That sounds a little worrying.
Oh, it's nothing too bad. Just that now and again he needs reminding not to step over the line.
How is he indebted to you?
I did him quite a big service, actually. I saved him from the hangman.
Oh, sounds like quite a story. How did it happen?
You should ask him. You'll be spending quite a while riding together, so...
All right, I'll go and report.
Excellent. He set up camp between Ratai and Ledechko. It's a good luck, Henry.
I will, sir.
Take care.
I'll be with you. I'm looking for Kuno. Kuno? Baron Rickvold. Isn't this his camp?
You won't get nothing out of him. You must be Radzig's man. I heard he was supposed to send someone.
Yes, Sir Radzig sent me as a guide. I'm Henry.
I'm Jakey. And this here fella, we call the Stone.
I can see why. What's up with him? Cat got his tongue?
No, more like the dog got it. The executioner's dog. When the executioner ripped it out of him. Anyway, you better come along with me. I'll introduce you to the other fellas. And the chief. These here are the Bearman brothers, Petter and Jan. They're a barrel of laughs, except when they're too drunk to string two words together. Like now. Don't get on the wrong side of them, though. When their blood is up, well, it ain't a pretty sight.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, I'm sure.
Never mind the fancy poses, Stefan. You're trying to kill the fucker, not teach him how to dance. And you, Dangler, stand your ground. Don't let him lead you round by the nose.
Sir? Well, sir, this is Henry. From Lord Cobler.
Ah, it's about time Radzig got around to this. We need someone who knows their way around these parts. Leave off with the bowing and curtsying. We don't hold with that tomfoolery here. Jakey! Where the hell are you sneaking off to? Go to the farm and get water. The lads are thirsty.
But I went last time.
And you'll go next time, you ungrateful pup. Get your ass moving. Snot-nosed brat. You pull them out of a pile of shit, and they thank you with back talk. Where were we? Oh yeah. We need a guide who knows these parts. So I hope I can rely on you, Herman.
It's Henry.
Right. As I said to Radzig, I don't want to carry any dead weight. We could find ourselves in some very tight situations where every sword counts.
I know how to handle a sword, all right?
I've heard a lot of fellas say that. They still ended up on the wrong end of one. We'll find out. Stefan, take a break. Dangler, let's find out what Harold here can do.
Sure. No problem, Chief.
You didn't fare badly at all, I must say. You can ride with us.
All right.
Don't thank me yet. You don't know what you're letting yourself in for.
Sir Kuno, can you tell me something about yourself?
Drop the sir. That title brought me nothing but grief. But what?
Sir Radzig told me the Rickvold family lost its wealth. How did that happen?
There's all sorts of ways to become impoverished. Nothing easier. especially when your father's a fool and your mother's mad as a bat.
Oh,
But it's a long and twisted story. We took our name from Rickval Castle, but that actually belonged to the convent of the Poor Clares in Tynitz, and my father only leased it. You see, he knew the abbess there since they were young. Knew her very well. There was even talk that she only joined the order because her family wouldn't let her marry him. Anyway, whether he was fucking her right there in the convent, or he just took a lot of interest in scripture, he spent an awful lot of time in Tynitz.
oh, he might have been after a bit of both.
Sinning and confessing all in one place. Well, I can see the convenience of it. Anyway, my mother never had strong nerves. Truth be told, her sanity was always shaky. Pa's escapades drove her cuckoo entirely. Then, one frosty December morning, I was woken by screaming and smoke. I looked out the window, and I saw my mother there, in the courtyard, wreathed in flames. Behind her, the stables, the farm buildings and the tower were burning too. And she just stood there, shrieking with laughter.
Christ, that sounds like a scene straight out of hell.
Hellish it was, I can tell you. Me and my sister Adela and a few servants managed to get out before the whole place went up. I couldn't get to my father. Or my little brother. Poor lad was only 7. My sister and I were left destitute after the fire. But then my cousin, Adam of Drevich, took us into his castle. A few weeks later, he offered to buy what was left of our estates and sell me a small fortress near Akovnik. It was a great relief. We suddenly had some hope of a future again. So I told my sister about it. And it was the biggest mistake of my life. A week later, the two of them announced to me they were getting married. And all that was left of our estates, lands, woods, villages, Adela was to get it all as a dowry.
But surely that was for you to decide. You were the head of the family, right?
Aye. Only I barely had 17 years under my belt, and I'd just lost everything. Of course, I argued with them, and that was the only excuse they needed to kick me out of Drevich too.
That's pretty harsh.
You're telling me. But I'm not complaining. As my pa always used to say, if you can turn your hand to something, you'll never be lost. I doubt it ever crossed his mind how often I'd remember those words.
So Radzig told me the Rickvold family lost its wealth. How did that happen?
There's all sorts of ways to become impoverished. Nothing easier. Especially when your father's a fool and your mother's mad as a bat.
Oh,
But it's a long and twisted story. We took our name from Rickval Castle, but that actually belonged to the convent of the Poor Clares in Tynitz, and my father only leased it. You see, he knew the abbess there since they were young. Knew her very well. There was even talk that she only joined the order because her family wouldn't let her marry him. Anyway, whether he was fucking her right there in the convent, or he just took a lot of interest in scripture, he spent an awful lot of time in Tynitz.
well, nobles can be very devout sometimes.
Not my old man. He cursed like a tanner's hand. More than once, he threatened to take a whip to our parish priest. Anyway, my mother never had strong nerves. Truth be told, her sanity was always shaky. Pa's escapades drove her cuckoo entirely. Then, one frosty December morning, I was woken by screaming and smoke. I looked out the window, and I saw my mother there, in the courtyard, wreathed in flames. Behind her, the stables, the farm buildings and the tower were burning too. And she just stood there, shrieking with laughter.
Christ, that sounds like a scene straight out of hell.
Hellish it was, I can tell you. Me and my sister Adela and a few servants managed to get out before the whole place went up. I couldn't get to my father. Or my little brother. Poor lad was only 7. My sister and I were left destitute after the fire. Then my cousin, Adam of Drevich, took us into his castle. A few weeks later, he offered to buy what was left of our estates and sell me a small fortress near a Kovnik. It was a great relief. We suddenly had some hope of a future again. So I told my sister about it. And it was the biggest mistake of my life. A week later, the two of them announced to me they were getting married. And all that was left of our estates, lands, woods, villages, Adela was to get it all as a dowry.
But surely that was for you to decide. You were the head of the family, right?
Aye. Only I barely had 17 years under my belt, and I'd just lost everything. Of course, I argued with them, and that was the only excuse they needed to kick me out of Drevich too.
That's pretty harsh.
You're telling me. But I'm not complaining. As my pa always used to say, if you can turn your hand to something, you'll never be lost. I doubt it ever crossed his mind how often I'd remember those words.
What about your debt to Sir Radzig? How did that come about?
A twist of fate, lad. I was fighting in the hostilities between the House of Schallenberg and the town of Colleen. Some trade dispute it was, and I fought under the Schallenberg colours. In the end, the two sides negotiated a truce, and I rode to Colleen with the delegation that was to parley there. We stopped off at an inn on the way, and it was there that I met Radzig Kobyla. I could tell at first sight he was a man after my own heart. A likeable rogue, with a sharp mind and a merry soul. We spent the whole night drinking together and talking, and in the morning we set off together, with sore heads, but in good temper, since he was travelling the Colleen same as I was. Only, once we reached the city gates, they arrested me on the spot. Seems the burghers had it in for me, since I'd been making their lives hell for a good 6 months. On the other hand, I was a member of the peace delegation, so by rights, they shouldn't have even looked at me sideways. And then it hit me why Radzig was there. Colleen is a royal city, so he was there to represent the king's interests.
I see. So he was on the other side.
That's right. Anyway, they threw me in a dungeon, and a few days later word reached me that the Schallenbergs had reached an agreement with the burghers. Only part of the deal was they would give them my head. And I'd surely have ended my days swinging from the town battlements if it hadn't been for Radzig. He liked me, and he could see it was a dirty trick, so he somehow squared things with the city council.
Lucky for you.
Indeed. I owe my life to Radzig, and I'll never forget it. He's asked me twice before for help. This is the third time, and how could I refuse him?
I'd like to ask about your men.
Ask away.
What about the fellow they call Dangler?
I've never ridden with a better man, I can tell you. He doesn't say a lot, but for that, he listens all the better. Nothing escapes him.
So he scouts for you?
Not just that. It's happened more than once. I was closing a deal with someone, and Dangler told me after that he didn't like the smell of the fellow nearly every time he was right, and the fellow tried to stab me in the back afterwards.
Those Behrman brothers are quite a pair.
Indeed they are. There's no more mercy in them than in, well, a bear. If I told them to skewer you on the spot, they'd do it, without batting an eyelid.
Jesus.
Oh, aye. They'd argue first about which one of them got to do the job. But they're as obedient as a huntsman's dogs. Real soldiers, the pair of them. Reliable, as long as they don't get too drunk. Then there's no keeping them under control. But nobody's perfect.
What can you tell me about Stefan?
Fletching? For one thing, he's a very resourceful fellow.
How did he come to join your band?
Well, let's just say he was in the right place at the right time. You'll find he has quite a knack for that.
What exactly happened?
Sorry, I'd love to tell you the whole story, but I'd be betraying his trust.
Oh, now you've got me curious. Maybe I should ask him myself.
Sure, why not? Our Fletch does love to converse.
What about that dumb one? How did he end up with you?
The stone? Oh, he just kind of tagged along.
Just like that?
Aye, just like that. We were riding from Olomouc to a castle past Kladsko when we ran into him and some other wayfarers camping along the way. You know how it goes. We made acquaintance with them, had a drink or two. Then we travelled on together. After all, there's safety in numbers.
I'm not sure I'd be thinking that if I ran into you lot on the road.
We might have done some things I ain't proud of. But wayfarers are sacred even for me. Anyway, our fellow travellers dropped off along the way. One in Mohelnitz, one in Schoenberg, and the rest in Kladsko. Except for the stone. He stuck with us the whole way. The fellas kept asking him what he was after. But of course he never said a word. When we were approaching Barsdorf, I ordered the men to get rid of him. I had some business at the castle, and Stefan tried to tell him nicely. But he just sat there, staring like he was turned to stone. That's when we gave him the name. Then the Bearman brothers tried to get him off his horse. He booted Jan in the face and knocked him out cold. Then he jumped down. A man who can do that is a man you want on your side.
Weren't you worried about having a stranger in your band? Especially one who did...
No, I figured if he can't talk, he can't tell. Besides, I've had worse.
What about Jakey?
Jakey, that boy will be the death of me. You've got to be tough on him, or he's good for nothing. But I'm fond of him, in a way.
Like a son?
I wouldn't go that far. But I've no family of my own. And unlike those other cutthroats, he seems to me like a good lad.
Well, you're pretty hard on him, though. And the others keep him on his toes, too.
The boy needs a firm hand. I was like him once, and I got the same too. If we let him be, we'd end up with a third bear man. And who'd want that?
True. 2 is more than enough. Should we ride out?
Aye, we ought to set out on patrol about now. I'd like to head to the north. Is there anything interesting?
North of here, Samapesh and Merhoyed are that way, and Talmberg is a bit further on. There's stables in Merhoyed.
I wouldn't mind paying a visit to those stables. We can go through there.
And from there?
From there, we'll follow our noses. Something interesting is sure to turn up. I feel it in my bones. Mount up and let's go.
Sure. Chief.
What a fine day, eh, brother?
Indeed, brother.
You know what I like best about days like this, Jan?
The scent of chamomile wafting from the hillsides.
Among other things.
Ah, like the rounded hills, rising, perched, all soft and pink in the sunlight.
And the fertile valley below, spreading wide and inviting.
Dew glistening in a mossy hollow.
The sweet aroma of honey in the air.
The sturdy poplar, standing tall and erect.
Aye. It reminds me of that day. That day when the two of us fucked Fletcher's ma.
Very droll. You'd make a stuffed bird laugh.
Your ma's a stuffed bird. I stuffed her myself.
I can't smell any chamomile.
Well, men, how are things?
May I?
Yes, Fletch?
How shall I put it? I'm a little concerned about the prospects in these parts, Chief.
Oh? How's that?
I've been looking around, and if you'll pardon me, it seems to me that we've been stuck for a long time in the arsehole of beyond.
It's not Paris, France, I'll grant you.
What I mean to say is, I haven't got any new kit or arrows since the day Jakey joined us. It makes me uneasy, Chief.
I see. What about the rest of you?
I don't know what Fletcher's moaning about. There's plenty of booze and loose wenches nearby.
Not to mention fools in the taverns who don't know when to stop rolling those dice.
Dangler?
It's the arsehole of Beyond everywhere we go. And it always makes me uneasy.
Jakey?
Fletch can complain. I was supposed to get a suit of armor, and all I got was a shitty kettle hat.
Sorry, but they don't do hauberks in girl sizes.
Oh? Well, how did you get yours then?
All right, I appreciate your honesty, lads. Don't worry, there will be plunder. We're here to fight. To the victor the spoils. That's how it's always been. But no purse of silver will shed blood for you on the battlefield. That's what this company is for. And I hope you never forget the golden rule. You can joke all you want, moan all you want, but nothing will keep your skins in one piece better than trusting your leader, who you choose by your own free will. So don't ever forget that.
Amen.
Chief, think there's something going on over there.
Let's go! Behind me, and keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah.
What do you think we can expect this time, fellas?
Groschen, hidden in a piss pot under the bed. A nice chunk of beef no one there will be eating.
On account of it'd just fall out through the holes in their bellies, eh, brother?
My mouth is already watering, brother. And I haven't even touched a purse.
Once you get your hands on some loot, I'll be happy to play you for your hard-earned grosh.
Poor old Fletch. Never gets to see the action from close up.
What about you, Dangler? What do you expect to find?
Futility and human suffering, like always.
Always full of good cheer, eh, Dangler? Why don't you take a leaf out of Stone's book? Shut the fuck up.
Jesus, I wish you'd all shut the fuck up.
Keep your eyes peeled, though. There might be someone hiding out here still. Look for clues.
Still smouldering. Whoever torched it can't have got very far. They turned the place over good and proper. No signs of resistance. They simply slaughtered them like Looks like it happened fast. They can't be all that clever or they'd have taken the wagon. Jesus Christ, what a massacre. What a pile of shit. They weren't even armed. God Almighty. Poor wretch. Kuno will want to know about this. I found this shield in a shed along with a letter.
Show me that. I know that crest. I don't think we'll find anything else here. We'll stay here a while, just in case.
What do you know about these Zouls?
A family of impoverished nobles. They fought in the Margraviate Wars in Moravia. But what they're after in Bohemia, I don't know.
I thought I could go and search for those raiders.
All right. It's always good to have an extra pair of eyes.
Yeah.
Poor creature. Hunted down like game. Looks like they carried away a lot of stuff. They went this way. Seems they met some resistance at the farm. What a waste. But at least I know which way they went.
Hey, who's there? What have we got here?
Gone weak at the knees, have you?
Slaughtered. Bring it up! You're done for, fucker. What's that? What are you? Kind of like. Jebbat! Here!
God damn! Had enough.
Over here!
Is that all you've got?
Take that. You're going to cry.
What's that?
God!
What have we got here? Entertainment. Is that the best you can do?
Is that the best you can do?
Come on.
Oh, I'll slay you for that. God.
Greetings. What do you need?
Sir, I'm afraid I have... This is something else.
I know that.
There was a letter there.
Show it to me. Although I think I...
Here you are, sir.
Unscrupulous beast. Cruelty and malevolence. I challenge you to face me in a duel. Defend your honor. An ignominious wretch. Well, that's nice. Signed, Hagen Zoul. As I expected, old grievances coming back to haunt me.
This Sir Hagen wants to challenge you to a duel.
Apparently, he still hopes I will agree to this kind of outmoded solution to disputes.
But surely you can't refuse a challenge to a duel. What about your honor?
Henry, my boy, honor is a splendid thing, and it should be held in high regard. But in time, you'll learn that some matters are not so straightforward.
Like this one?
Yes, like this one. Hagen, meanwhile, was fighting in the Margraviate Wars in Moravia, and elsewhere as a mercenary. Which of us do you think would win a duel? That's not honor, but an abuse of honor. Commonplace opportunism. I don't blame him for trying, but I'm not such a fool as to play by his rules.
What happened between you and Sir Hagen?
That's a long story.
Well, if I'm to know what I'm up against, I'll need to hear at least the gist of it.
True. All right, in a nutshell. Several years ago, I had to resolve a bloody feud between the Zouls and another family. The Zouls were clearly in the wrong, but refused to accept my ruling. So, I hanged the head of the family, razed their castle to the ground, and confiscated their property. Ever since then, they've had it in for me, not surprisingly.
But you acted in good conscience.
Yes, although in retrospect it might seem excessively harsh. And it doesn't help that the other family is related to mine.
What happened between you and Sir Hagen?
That's a long story.
Well, I'd like to hear the whole story, sir.
Very well. It began in the first year of King Wenceslas's reign. It concerned land boundaries. The Zouls had refused to accept the ruling. His Majesty's position was a little shaky after his coronation. Since the Zoul, the head of the family, Hagen's father, was hanged, their castle razed to the ground and their property...
So, they're out for vengeance. But you acted according to the law.
Would it were that simple, lad? I was young and didn't realize the repercussions it would bring. For one thing, the king didn't use it to strengthen his position. On the contrary, he took less and less interest in such affairs.
How come?
Because he realized things would eventually... Secondly, my actions essentially created another band of robbers. When you strip a nobleman of his property, you can't expect him to take to begging. And thirdly, I wasn't aware at the time that the other party to the dispute was distantly related to me. Naturally, that made it look like I was acting in self-interest. If I'd known what I know today, I'd have been a lot more circumspect.
What happened between you and Sir Hagen?
That's a long story.
Well, I'd like to...
Very well. It can... His... Since the...
So...
For one...
How come?
Because he... Second... And...
What happened between you and Sir Hagen?
That's a long story.
Well, I'd like to hear the whole story, sir. If you wouldn't mind.
Very well. It could... Would... For one...
How?
Because he...
Well, what are we gonna...
You and...
So you'd...
Let's...
All right.
I'm sure you...
I'd like to ask something about...
Sure.
What happened?
That's...
Well, I'd like...
It... For...
How...
It...
What...
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd been to see Sir Radzig.
So how did he take the news?
Well, he wasn't exactly happy about it.
I can well imagine. I wouldn't want the Zouls plundering my estates either. If I had any. That makes sense. I don't think he'll come to us. So we'll just have to hope we...
Sure.
Mount up then, and let's go.
Please, can we stop for a bit? My arse is aching, and I've such a thirst I could drink a moat dry.
Same here. What do you say, Chief?
Not to worry. We'll re-choose it soon. We'll spend the night there.
I heard they've got a peculiar priest there. They say he drinks like the devil himself.
There's nothing strange about that. Every other man on the cloth is a swill pot.
Or a lecher.
Or both.
Quiet. Listen.
For the love of God, help! Please, sir, help me.
Don't worry, lass. Nothing to fear. We're with Sir Radzig, in the manner of speaking. What's the matter?
These brigands came. The menfolk fled and left us there. They started pillaging the place, drinking whatever they could find and smashing things. I ran off, but the other girls, you've got to save them. Please, I beg you.
Easy, lass. Drinking, you say?
Aye, sir. They rolled the casks into the courtyard and started swilling like pigs from a trough.
Well, as our old cook used to say, if you want to make a proper goulash, you should soak the meat in ale for a while to soften it first.
Ah, let them get well soaked, and then go and chop them up. Good thinking, Chief.
But what about the girls? Those men, they were...
I'm sure your friends won't be getting nothing they ain't had before.
Well, unless they be nuns.
Kuno, the girl's right. If we delay, her friends will pay the price for it.
I appreciate your advice, Henry. But it's caution that'll keep you alive, not chivalrous deeds.
You promised Sir Radzig you protect his fiefdom, and that means his subjects too.
Come on, it's not like their lives are in any real danger. Hagen's men just want a bit of fun.
A bit of fun? Are you fucking serious? You know very well, Kuno, how innocent girls can end up after a bit of fun with animals like that. Well, I, for one, am not going to sit back and let it happen, even if I have to creep in there myself and try to rescue them.
Oh, all right. It's not the smartest thing to do. But let's go and tackle those fuckers if that's how you want it.
Good. Thanks.
Right. We better try and save those girls from Hagen's brutes. Let's go!
Who wants their back covered?
My right arm is stiff. It's all in the wrist.
I'll watch your right side then, yeah?
Fuck. What's up, brother? Heart in your mouth. Fuck. It's a sign from God, Peter. A foretaste of what we'll do with the liquid loot we take from the boat. No more wine flowing here. Now it's your blood that will stain the ground.
They'll be shitting themselves. With laughter. I reckon the hiccups are the scary part.
Shut up, God.
Don't think you can fight me and live. Oh, shit. Had enough.
Good work, lads. Finish the job.
For a game.
Always. I've got some.
Well, that depends what you have.
I've got a shield, a jupon, and a very fine. The shield's got the Rickfald crest. Then I've got this combat, and then it'll.
I like the sound.
All right. After all,
This should be.
that'll do.
Come and have a bit of a punch up, Henry. A bruise or two will put some colour in your cheeks.
So, bring it on.
Sit down and have a drink with us before it's all gone.
I can't follow your way for that.
I'll give you a chance to show what you're made of.
We'll see.
Think you can take me or not? You'll have a better fight with me than with Penner. No whiskers to tickle your knuckles.
This'll be the one. That's it.
I'll give you a chance to show what you're made of.
Now you.
Give you a chance to show what you're made of. You'll have a better fight with me than with Penner. No whiskers to tickle your knuckles.
Should I? Shouldn't I? No, I didn't.
No blood, I promise.
Sit down and have a drink with us before it's all gone.
Did I tell you about how St. Clair appeared to me? It was that time.
Sacre! I can't believe it!
How about? Well, could you?
After all,
This should be enough.
your fame precedes you, but you won't get the better of me.
Come and fight nicely, so I don't have to start making insults about your kid. Think you can take me or not?
That one over by St. Barth.
We'll just have a friendly battle.
We'll see.
At least not much.
That'll do me.
They say.
Let me massage my knuckles a bit with your face, eh? Think you can shake me?
Your turn.
Well then, reckon you can take me?
Now you.
Always have some milk. There used to be Miss Charlotte, colleague, lived in a house on the road with Radzig. He claimed
Why, oh, why didn't I quit when I was ahead?
other Charlotte.
How about
Aye.
from up?
Oh, after all.
The,
We'll just have a friendly. No,
St. George, guide my hand.
at least not much.
See, because the other
I'll give you a chance to show what you're made of.
If I was in your shoes, I'd pass while the going is good.
I'll give you a chance to show what you're made of.
Should I? Shouldn't I? No, I didn't.
come and join us. You don't want wine?
Well then,
You can always have some milk.
me on.
Right. Only 3 people at the table. I hope no one expects me to tell them. Don't for my troubles. Alright,
We'll
Dave.
just have a
Take it
friendly
easy.
bout. No
Fix
blood,
your eyes
I
on your
promise.
own. How you let on? You didn't see that tap on much. Lovely black hair she has.
We'll see.
Don't see that often. Probably a gypsy.
Let me massage my
Hmm.
face, eh?
Quiet as the grave.
That's it. Finished.
Better fight with me. No whiskers to tickle your knuckles. I'll give you a chance to show what you're made of.
Not afraid of anything, eh? Not afraid of anything, eh? If I was in your shoes, I'd pass while the going is good. Not afraid of anything, eh? If I was in your shoes, I'd pass while the going is good.
Well then, you reckon you can take me on?
Use your head, man. You'll lose everything.
You'll have a better fight with me than with Penner.
Use your head, man. You'll lose everything. Not afraid of anything, eh?
We'll just have a friendly bout. No blood, I promise.
My Christ. I've fallen your way and no mistake.
I'll give you a chance to show what you're made of.
How in the name of all that's holy?
Come and have a bit of a punch up, Henry. A bruise or two will put some colour into us.
You want to have a scrap with me?
Scrap? That's putting it. You've not.
All right. A little.
My very words. I'm over here.
How about that? I don't want.
All right, after all.
Actually.
Ah.
See, because the other fella would be thinking, he'd be.
Forget it.
They left us some damn good booze here. And as my old man used to say, of course, the only battle he was ever in was with Ma. Anyway, I hope you're...
Sure. Why look a gift horse in the mouth?
My words, me and the lads were just saying how we know nothing about you.
That I have. I suppose you heard of...
Aye, I heard. And Radzig told me you're from there. But that's probably...
Have you heard of Sir Hans Capon?
I heard his name mentioned in Colleen.
Yeah, that's him. He's going... Well...
Naturally, that's what the
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I did. But I had to...
I reckon you're a man who can't resist... It's starting to...
Well, actually...
How's that?
Well, I got back... Well, Sir Hans... It could have...
All that... Tell us...
Do you know Talmberg?
Aye, I do. It's that castle on the hill, not...
That's right. Sir Divish is the lord there. You might have heard he was...
I remember hearing something about that.
His wife, Lady Stephanie, managed to get justice for him in the end, with the help of the provincial...
Right. But I thought you were going to tell us something about...
I'm getting there. It's to do with... She took a liking to me and asked me to help her get some things for her cousin's wedding, which I did.
So the lady was nice to you? That's a charming...
No, you don't get it, Kuno. She was...
What are you... No. Never.
Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise for me.
Are you mad? Did it cross your mind?
No, I suppose. But I was caught up in the...
Jesus, Henry. Let me give you a word of advice. We're not from here.
Of course not, don't worry.
Tell us another.
Have you seen Sasau Monastery?
I've seen it from the outside. A fine building.
You could be right.
Like, you...
Like, I was in the...
I'm impressed.
Something about how you can't...
You don't have...
No, it comes in...
Well,
It's like...
I don't...
Yeah.
A nice story.
If I didn't know you, you'd have given me a fright in that arm.
Wouldn't you...
In this weather?
Yeah. What is it, Jakey?
The stone wants to talk with you, if you can call it that.
What ring?
Ah, no one told you about it. The fellas call it the Ring of Bacchus. It's a kind of game we play. Kuno gave us this ring. It's just a worthless bauble. But when we're at the town... So we steal the ring from each other and try to trick each other. Well, actually, just the others. They won't let me play. Kuno says I'm too young to get boozed up.
That sounds like a lot of fun. But I don't have the ring, so why...
He probably wants you to steal it from someone. Since you're new, the fellows will talk to you, and it won't be suspicious.
All right. Hey, Jakey, can you tell me?
Want to get matey, eh? Sure.
How did you end up in...
Well, I used to be a baker's hand in Prague, but all the other fellas were always on my back, always swearing at me. Sometimes they even beat me up. To make a bit of coin, I started going to the tavern across the road, entertaining the rich gents with just one time.
I bet you...
Yeah.
Well, sure. How can they...
No.
Jakey sent me to you.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose you want me to get... Who has it? Peter Berman? I didn't... Does Dangler have it? Alright. How... Can you tell...
What do you want to know?
What? Hey, I want the ring...
So you come and ask me for it?
Well, you don't just have to steal it from each other. Why not play?
No, I don't play dice.
Or...
Oh,
Sure.
well, now...
I got the ring from... Yeah, well, yeah, thanks to...
Come here. I want to ask you. Henry. I want to talk to you.
Can we set out?
Sure. We'll head towards Zoul today. Jakey heard at the tavern in the...
You think they could be...
Maybe, maybe not. It's enough that they're not local. Could be... Jakey, go and scout ahead. Don't want us running into any surprises. See if there's a good spot for us to camp.
Right, Chief.
What's the matter with Jakey? No back talk.
I gave him a swig of schnapps at supper. Perhaps it made a man of him overnight.
Or that boar piss of yours took away his will to live.
Zastubi device potoki wina,
Nesvenic nesemezis viva, Nesvenic nesepeska se slavi, Čitali pijem nestebaj nam hlavi. Hej! Zemskija čitele plemeno hadi, Pusti exovia bona džezradi, Sete boi, neste šušino,
Brother, where are you?
All right, Henry?
I'm coming, brother! Suck it! Catch the horse!
We're on the riverbank!
We have to get back to the bank! Quick! Before they cut us off!
What now?
I don't know. They could be lying in wait for us anywhere. Someone must have...
So every man for himself?
Just so.
But you think it was one of the band who
Look around for yourself. Who's missing? Jakey. That's who. I sent him on ahead. That little fucking Judas. When I...
I'll try and track him down.
No, it's too risky. He could have Hagen's people all around him.
My God, Henry.
Wouldn't you like...
I'd love to. Home already.
Yeah! Tell me,
What do you want?
how...
How was it you said again? Starts with a pregnant woman.
Can you tell... You... Tell me something. Your brother was saying you rode before with some...
He did he?
Yeah, he said you missed...
Ha ha!
Ah.
Oh,
Yeah.
if you could...
Got your eye on some nice wench?
Thank you.
Wouldn't you like...
What, now? But stop by later.
Can you tell me what?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you doing? Tired
You'll
of
get
life? What are you doing here?
Sorry.
What's the matter?
No more fooling around. Bring it on!
What have we got here? Entertainment.
Missed. Yeah. Yeah.
get something to eat. I'm starting to get hungry. I feel quite hungry.
The answer to my prayers. Just when I wanted
I'm going to.
Yeah,
I'll
get
let
off
do
it.
protect.
No, not a chance. There'll be no mercy for you. Come on, you shit.
No surrendering. You're finished.
All right, enough. Yeah.
I see everyone made it back in one.
Thank Christ. Someone up there must like us.
Well, someone up there.
Shit, right.
So we'll go patrolling again?
We will, but not you.
What?
I found out where Jakey is. I want you to grab him and beat everything he knows about Hagen out of him.
Well, that sounds like a good plan.
For one thing, you're reliable. And for another, you're not likely to wring his neck.
Where is he hiding?
He isn't, a little shit. He's drinking away his 30 pieces of silver in some alehouse, bold as brass.
The inn in the glade?
Yeah, that's the one.
What are you going to be doing in the...
We'll go on patrol as normal. It could be a...
But what if they're waiting to spring a trap on...
It could well be, Henry. So you should be very careful. But one thing's for sure, Jakey won't...
I'll get going then.
Go. And when you...
Right, Chief. I'd like you... I want... Now.
Good health.
Have you heard?
Just some...
Of course I care about it. Sheeps and wenches and...
That's
the wenches?
the sheep.
Well, we'd better get back to... Who?
I don't know his name, but he was about as old as you.
Young Adam, then.
He decided he wanted to go back home. See the damage and so on.
I know. I've met those scavengers before.
Well, it certainly isn't Christian. But the thing is, they were hiding money in...
I wouldn't count...
This Adam said it was enough to fix a whole cottage. Or to go exploring the world.
Alright, but it still seems shady. And you haven't really given...
Maybe. But I don't have anything better.
And did he say where he was...
He said he's going to Ratai. That he has...
It won't be easy to find him. Rat Eyes are...
Then you'll have to ask someone, won't...
I'll be...
Go!
Have you heard the latest?
One or two things. That wily fox is giving you the runaround, eh? Always one step ahead.
That sounds like...
You've got to admit, he's pulled up a neat trick.
You're not an easy man to figure out sometimes.
No, I'm as simple as they come. All I care about is profit, and it doesn't matter how you get it.
I'm looking for a young fella by the name of
A cheeky-looking strip.
That'll be him, or...
Well, I don't like to snitch on my guests. Ain't...
Thanks, Andrew.
Well, I was gonna throw him out on his ear at first. He strolls in here like some lord, but then he showed me the way of his person. Well, he stayed here a couple of days. Yesterday evening he was boozing here.
To the woods? That's a very...
Someone said they saw them heading south across the girl's father was here with her. A merchant.
All right. I hear...
Certainly.
I want...
You can't be...
Well...
That stinky little bitch.
I'm glad you're here, Henry. I thought I'd be stuck here.
What the fuck are you doing?
I picked up this wench at the inn, see? And we wanted to go somewhere, only the bitch whacked me on the head with a rock.
Did she now?
And which... I haven't a clue. But I reckon as far away from her father as she can get. She won't be going back in a hurry. I've met some mad wenches in my time. But that one, she could have just asked me for coin, instead of trying to smash my skull right away.
I'd say that's the pot calling the kettle black.
Listen, Henry, that thing with Hagen, I didn't want to, really. But Jesus, Henry, I've never seen a pile of coin like that in my life. Kuno wouldn't get...
Yeah, my heart bleeds. Enough. Tell me where I...
Hagen? Lord Zoul? Yeah, I'll tell you, Henry.
I don't know if I'd go as far as mates, but let's just say
I knew you and me would understand each other, so...
Let you go? That rock must have...
Henry, I'm really sorry.
I can believe that, but why didn't you tell us about it? You didn't...
I don't know,
First, tell me where Hagen is.
I won't say anything as long as I'm tied up.
I know what you mean, Jakey. Kuno's no less of a bastard than that Hagen.
Yeah, right? But...
Because Kuno's on my side. I didn't pick him, and maybe Sir Radzig wouldn't have either if he had a choice. But one thing I know, if you don't tell me where Hagen is...
Oh... Hagen's planning to raid some village. Samapesh, I think? He's gonna go there, so... Are you gonna...
I'll untie you, all right?
What?
To jail.
But you can't.
We didn't agree on anything.
Baked goods fresh from the oven. Come and get them!
Let's
vegetables! Fresh vegetables! Look, smell!
God
Aren't they
save.
lovely?
Yeah. Yeah. I found Jakey, and I know what happened.
Spit it out then.
Zoul plans to raid Samapesh, and he wants to lead the attack himself.
I see. And what about that treacherous little bastard?
I took him to the Rat Eye jail.
What will happen to him?
That's up to Sir Radzig. Considering what he did...
I'm not so sure. Radzig always had a soft heart. Saddle up now. We'll ride to Samapesh right away.
All right.
There they are. I can see Zoul's colours. It seems they want a parley, sir.
Parlay, eh? Right then.
Let's parley.
God be with you, Sir Kuno.
My respects, Sir Hagen.
I don't believe I've had the pleasure since the siege of Lansenbach, wasn't it?
An age ago that was. In those days we fought under the same banner.
We did.
And even today, we may yet part friends. After all, my quarrel is not with you, but with Coppola.
The thing is, your quarrel with Lord Coppola is my affair, since he tasked me with keeping order in his lands. And you, Hagen, you are disturbing that order.
No offence, sir, but you are just a mercenary whose main concern is keeping order in his purse. My dispute with Radzig Coppola concerns a higher ideal. Coppola shamed my family over a trifling misdemeanor. He hanged my father, razed our castle to the ground, gave our property away to his family and cronies. And for that, I demand just retribution. But you don't have to stand in my way, Kuno. I'm well aware why you serve Radzig. You owe him a favor. And from what I've heard, it's not the first time you've had to pay him back. It won't be the last either. The fact of the matter is, you fight Coppola's battles for him, and you've little or nothing to show for it. If you accept my offer, on the other hand, you can ride away from here a rich man. What do you say, sir?
Kuno, you can't do it.
You're making a common mistake, Henry. There's a difference between what a man can't do and what he ought not to do. In this case, the difference is the size of Hagen's offer.
Have you no honor at all? To sell yourself to the highest bidder?
The only bidder. Radzig never offered me a groschen.
Because you owe him a favor.
And this is the third time I've had to pay him back. My conscience is clean.
Tell me, Kuno, what do you think makes a good mercenary?
If I knew that, I'd have a marble palace in Florence. I'd sit all day on a golden throne, drinking wine. But I suppose for a start, he should be skilled in warfare.
Oh, that's how you see it. But what about those who enlist your service? What they value is loyalty and fulfilling your duty. A mercenary who turns after coin like a vane after the wind isn't worth his salt.
An eloquent speech, but like I said, I've paid Radzig back quite enough. So if you don't mind, I'll take that pile of coin and fuck off.
And then what? Do you think anyone will ever hire you again after they hear of this?
With that much money, I won't have to worry about that for a while. Anyway, everyone will understand how things really stand.
Do you really think Sir Radzig and others like him will share your interpretation of mercenaries' honor? Not a chance. Everyone will see you for the swindler and turncoat you are, and Sir Radzig and I will make damn sure you won't come out of this smelling of roses.
Are you threatening me?
Call it what you like.
Fine. It seems you have learned something after all.
You'll stay, then?
Obviously.
Well, it didn't seem so obvious to me.
Come on now, Henry. Don't take offence. And let's go and deal with Hagen. It's true, Sir Hagen. This is not the first time I've paid Radzig back. Nor will it be the last. But then, he did save my neck from the noose. So I'll be long beholden to him. I'll make no bargain with you. But I will take your silver.
You would fight me? You're a damn fool.
I've no wish to fight, but neither do you. Otherwise you wouldn't have tried to buy me off. So it seems that we're evenly matched. Let's see who fortune favours.
So be it.
Then give up.
Well, that's that. Good work, lads.
Whore sons!
Well, now.
Well, that's that.
Now we'll go and look for peace in the bottom of it.
That's all.
What else is there? That's the nature of the job, Henry. You go somewhere, kill some men, and then you go and get your reward. But you should go and bring Radzig some good news, fine.
Aye, I suppose I should.
If there's anything else you want from us, we'll be at the encampment in a few more days. Well, if I don't happen to see you again.
The Lord be praised. What brings you to me?
Sir, we got rid of Zoul.
Finally, some good news. Tell me all about it.
We caught up with Hagen in the fields near Merhoyed, and there was a skirmish. But before that, Hagen tried to bribe Kuno.
Tell me, how did you persuade Kuno to stay on our side?
You're assuming Kuno would have gone for Hagen's offer?
I'm quite certain he gave it some thought. Considering I don't pay him a single groschen, probably quite a lot of thought.
You're quite right.
So, how did you persuade him?
I simply appealed to his honor, sir.
Simply. Knowing Kuno, I'd say it would be simpler to persuade the devil to go to church on Sunday.
That's not far off the mark. But maybe he's not that bad after all. In the end, he did stay and fight for you.
Any losses on our side? Kuno's men? How did they fare?
We were fortunate. Everyone survived, including Kuno.
That's how it should be. Anyway, you deserve a reward for your efforts. And thank you, Henry. Once again, I'm beholden to you. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Thank you, sir. But I'm sure you'd have managed without me.
Don't be so modest, lad. Since that catastrophe at Skalitz, I don't have many people left that I can rely on. Best go and rest now.
Thank you, sir.
Goodbye.